Thanks for staying with us on the 12 Report. Now, interesting turn of event that you must have seen on your feeds. Public anger is now mounting over what many Nigerians see as selective justice, following the swift remand of a female passenger, Comfort Emmanson, accused of assaulting Ibom Air cabin crew and security officers during a Uyo-Lagos flight. Now, viral videos show Emmanson slapping and kicking airline and airport staff, including a female air hostess, after allegedly ignoring repeated instructions to switch off her phone before takeoff. Special advisor on media to the Ministry of Aviation, Tunde Moshood, confirmed that she has been charged to court and sent to Kirikiri Correctional Centre. But online, Nigerians are questioning why Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde, known as KWAM, allegedly obstructed a ValueJet flight in Abuja just last week, that one you saw on your feed as well, without facing similar legal consequences. Now, many are calling it a textbook example of how justice is often harsher for some and gentler for others. And in general terms, a lot of people are calling it double standards. Well, Barrister Justice Ojienu joins me now for an analysis of the growing concern over the seeming selective justice in the handling of both cases. Thank you so much, Barrister, for joining us. And I'm sure that you have been following this story. It's an intriguing one, honestly, and this is a clear case of who is to blame. But now bringing back the situation of last week and looking, the seeming double standards is making people question, why is that? So is this a different scenario, or do we just generally say that it's double standards because it looks similar?
Okay, the scenarios cannot be perfectly Xerox. It can be perfect. It can be a perfect photocopy, but the pillars are essentially the same. And it does nothing but to remind us of the famous works and words of Eric Blair, more popular as George Orwell, when he said in his famous work, The Animal Farm, that some animals are equal, but some are more equal. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others, and it seems as though, in fact, it doesn't seem, it is the exact case of what happened here. Some of the actions, I'm seriously restrained about talking about the Madam Emmanson's case, the Monica being Form 2. So if I circle back to Form 1, there are clear criminal breaches that Mr. Form 1 practically committed on the particular day. The fact that he did not submit himself to the airport authorities, that's a clear and flagrant breach of Section 45 of the National Civil Aviation Act. We also had the fact that, and more horrendously, he, in a manner of speaking, practically halted the movement of an aeroplane, and that is practically tantamount in interpretation to hijacking a plane, and that offense, because of how huge it is, you have to pay either 25 million naira or you're going for life imprisonment. So those are serious breaches, much more than the allegations that were leveled against Form 2. And yet we see that Nigeria, in its characteristic manner, when law enforcement wants to work, they work perfectly. They work practically almost better than the FBI of the United States or similar organizations. But when the people in question, whether it's an Adams Oshiomhole or it's a Form 1 that is very, very close to Mr. President, they tend to forget or pretend to forget that the laws are on our books, and these people have committed clear and blatant crimes, and they are supposed to be prosecuted.
So Barrister, I want to find out. Apologies for interrupting you. I want to find out from you, because people have tagged this the KWAM 1 and KWAM 2 situation, right? And in both scenarios, we can clearly see that the meting out of justice is different. So what are the legal reforms that can ensure that public perceives or public perception of selective justice is addressed? Because if we keep dealing with two similar scenarios in two different ways, it doesn't speak well for us. It doesn't speak well for our justice system.
I fully agree with you. It doesn't speak well, and it paints us in a bad light. We already know that, the way justice will be meted out to a person with deep means or with very, very close access to power is going to be different to the way it's going to be dealt to other persons. So that tells us that this time, unlike what Albert Dicey, the great proponent of principle of rule of law, proposed at the time, he shows that he fails, because now it looks like men are practically tipping the scales. They are not letting Lady Justice, that is blindfolded and is not supposed to see a particular person as having deep pockets and having access to power, as different from another person that doesn't have such privileges. They are not letting Lady Justice operate the way it's supposed to operate. So once the public perception starts eroding when it comes to applicability of the provisions of the law to some persons as against some other persons, I think it practically insults the government. It reduces the government, it makes the government a show of shame. It makes, and we pray that at some point the people do not have to take the laws into their hands, especially when they know that the persons who are breaching such laws are persons who will escape justice if they leave them to be dealt with by the government. We must remember that this was the mentality of the people during the military, where they see that, oh, a person commits a form of armed robbery, a person steals a goat or a tuber of yam, and rather than people are handing over the person to the police, the people will rather juggle justice to such person because of serious lack of confidence in law enforcement.
Right.
I pray, and I also appeal to you to pray too, and join me in wishing that people do not have to generate to that again.
Okay. All right. Barrister Justice Ojedo, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time with us on the news.